Hello, we're back on reading aloud. What is money? Money is a medium of exchange, making it easy for people to buy and sell goods and services. Society agrees on its value, whether it takes the form of commodity money backed by physical goods like gold or fiat money whose worth comes from government degree. Different types of money such as M1, M2 and M3 help economists measure the total money supply in any economy, offering insight into spending, saving and economic health. Understanding the role of money as a medium of exchange. Before the development of a medium exchange, that is, money, people would battle to obtain the goods and services they needed. Two individuals, each possessing some goods the other wanted, would enter into an agreement to trade. Early forms of bartering, however, do not provide the transferability and divisibility that makes trading efficient. For instance, if someone has cows but needs bananas, they must find someone who not only has bananas but also the desire for meat. Understanding the role of money as a medium of exchange. Before the development of a medium of exchange, that is, money, people would barter to obtain the goods and services they needed. Two individuals, each possessing some goods the other wanted, would enter into an agreement to trade. Early forms of bartering, however, do not provide the transferability and divisibility that makes trading efficient. For instance, if someone has cows but needs bananas, they must find someone who not only has bananas but also the desire for meat. What if that individual finds someone who has the need for meat but not bananas and only can offer potatoes? To get meat, the person must find someone who has bananas and wants potatoes, and so on. Bartering lacks transferability, making it tiring, confusing, and inefficient. But that is not where the problems end. Even if the person finds someone with whom to trade meat for bananas, they might not consider a bunch of bananas to be worth a whole cow. Such a trade requires coming to an agreement and devising a way to determine how many bananas are worth certain parts of the cow. The myth of barter. Keep in mind that this situation is only a hypothetical module used to understand our modern economy, our modern economic system. In reality, there is no anthropological proof of such a barter economy existing in the past yet. Commodity money solved these problems. Commodity money is a type of good that functions as a currency. In the 17th century and the early 18th centuries, for example, American colonists used beef for belts and dried corn in a transactions, possessing generally accepted values. These commodities were used to buy and sell other things. The commodities used for trade had certain characteristics. They were widely desired and therefore valuable, but they were also durable, portable, and easily stored. Another, more advanced example of commodity money is a precious metal, such as gold. For centuries, gold was used to back paper currency up until the 1970s. In this case, the US dollar, for example, this meant that foreign governments were able to take their dollars and exchange them at a specified rate for gold with the US Federal Reserve. Unlike P4 belts and dried corn, which have practical uses, gold is valued simply because people desire it. It is not necessarily useful. You can't eat gold and it won't keep you warm at night, but the majority of people think it is beautiful. And they know others think it is beautiful. So gold is something that has worth. Gold therefore serves as a physical token, a wealth based on people's perception. This relationship between money and gold provides insight into how money gains its value as a representation of something valuable. How public perception shapes the value of fiat money. The type of money is a fiat money, which does not require backing by a physical commodity. Instead, the value of fiat currencies is set by supply and demand, as well as people's faith in its worth. Fiat money developed because gold was a scarce resource, and rapidly growing economies could not always mine enough to back their currency supply requirements. For a booming economy, the need for gold to give money value is extremely inefficient, especially when its value is really created by people's perception. Fiat money represents people's perception of value, which forms its basis for creation an economy that is growing as apparently succeeding in producing other things that are valuable to itself and other economies. The stronger the economy, the stronger its money will be perceived and sought after, and vice versa. However, people's perception must be supported by an economy that can produce the products and services that people want. For example, beginning in 1971, the US dollar was taken off the gold standard. The dollar was no longer redeemable in gold, and the price of gold was no longer fixed to any dollar amount. This was made official in 1976. It was now possible to create more paper money than there was a gold to back it. Only the health of the US economy backs the dollar's value. If the economy stalls, the value of the US dollar will drop both domestically through inflation and internationally through currency exchange rates. The implosion of the US economy would plunge the world into a financial dark age. So many other countries and entities are working tirelessly to ensure that never happens. Today, the value of money, not just the dollar, but most currencies, is decided purely by its purchasing power, as dictated by inflation, and that is why simply printing new money will not create wealth for a country. Money is created by kind of perpetual interaction between real tangible things, our desire for them, and our abstract faith in what has value. Hence, money is valuable because it can get us desired product or service. Measuring money categories and insights. Exactly how much money is out there and what forms does it take. Economists and investors ask this question to determine whether there's inflation or deflation. Money is divided into three categories to simplify: measurements,